Well, all right then. Uh, Coming at you, room 303. This is Noah, and about 93 miles away is Josh. Josh, what are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about our Disney overlords.
Oh, we're talking about the mouse, are we?
The old mouse, frozen head, the whole 9 yards.
The whole 9 yards. You know, in episode 2 or 3, I think I said that the government's gonna get us for this one, but I think the mouse might get us for this one.
Yeah, it's a little less intimidating than the government, but maybe there's a secret Disney
I
military
think I'm
out
more
there.
scared of the mouse than I am of the government.
Yeah, they have immunity from the law, so they can kind of be as like brutal or cruel or whatever they want to do, really.
I mean, as secretive as like the CIA and FBI and stuff are, I think the mouse has got
Probably
something good
goes
going
deeper,
on.
yeah. Maybe not
That's
deeper, but certainly pretty far.
I think that's some deep state type shit. Maybe that's a whole different bureaucracy of the government that we just don't know about.
Maybe the Disney is like not the military, but the government's like extension of like their entertainment branch, and it's just all behind closed doors and everything.
Do you think that could be an entire separate branch of the government? You got the executive, the judicial, legislative,
Maybe
entertainment.
not like a branch like that. I mean, but like how the military is an extension of the government. Like they
Well,
have
that's
their own branches.
part of the executive branch.
Yeah, I guess. But you got the entertainment branch, and that's just Disney. Disney is like the government's NASA. Well, it is NASA.
Well, the government, NASA is the NASA government stuff.
You
I
know
don't
what
know
I
what the
mean?
hell.
Like NASA is to the government like what Disney is in this analogy.
I So they're just a little bureaucracy.
Yeah, they're manipulating everything with all their assets.
Yeah, manipulating everything, throwing dicks on everything they can.
Oh yes,
Little
very
Mermaid, home
chode,
office stuff, and
chode. Throw it in there.
chode.
That's what you said. They're throwing dicks on everything. It's the
They do throw dicks everywhere.
talking
Little
about the
Mermaid
Disney logo, right?
especially.
Ah
Huh?
yes. I thought you were talking about how the Mickey Mouse logo looks like a little dick. It's like I
That's not what I'm
guess.
talking about. I'm talking about the animators that just like to throw things in.
Oh, was there a dick in Little Mermaid?
Oh, dude, there's way worse than that, like everywhere.
Ooh, I've only seen it once, so I can't like
Well, I've
speak
never
on.
even seen it. I just know about it. But then they do it to everything.
I'd say go them, but I
No,
don't
it's
really
a
mean it.
horrible thing. It's for
Yeah.
children.
Aren't you always enforcing like we should swear in front of kids though to expose them
Yeah, that's fine, but like nobody wants to see a dick.
to? I guess you're right.
I mean, like whatever Seinfeld quote: "Women are beautiful, but men are for utility."
We gotta have all the parts. I forget who says it. I think it's Jerry.
Perhaps I don't remember.
We have to have a multitude of uses.
But yeah, just all those Disney animators throwing in dicks and stuff and showing people nudity. Just all talented people are just awful.
What other movies have they done that in? I know, like you said, that they probably do it in everything, but like I don't know.
I know, fucking Robert Rabbit, Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, there was
Uh,
like the one like MILF
yeah,
animated. Yeah, I remember that one.
stuff with her, and then Snow White and the Seven Dwarves and Aladdin. There's some dicks in some places.
Really?
Glad,
I've seen that
glad the
one
first 5 minutes of this are dicks.
in Aladdin.
Huh?
In Aladdin?
Yeah. I don't really know where they are. I just know that they like to throw them in.
Well, I know because the first 5 minutes is like when uh, Aladdin's running, like he stole the bread and he's running through the city and
Oh, I was
everything.
I was
So,
talking about the podcast when I said the first 5 minutes is all about dicks.
oh yeah, yeah. I was gonna say like first 5 minutes of Aladdin. There's some potential there. Good dick
Maybe.
potential.
Let's go frame by frame, see if we can find one.
I'm sure someone's done it already.
Yeah. Yeah, let's utilize other people's work and do none of our own.
No, that's what this channel's all about. Now. I'm sure there's
Yeah.
an Aladdin, but only the dicks YouTube
There's plenty of work
video.
that goes into this, but we're just not good at it.
We can't do anything more. We are what you see.
Well, we are what you hear, because we're probably never going to show our faces on this channel.
Yeah, we're gonna set like a sub special for that or something.
No, it's
It's
never
gonna
going to
be
happen.
totally random. Or no.
Because these first couple podcasts are going to suck and no one's going to listen to them, but the few fans that do come back to listen to this are going to be like, oh, so this is why they don't do that.
They'll understand.
Yeah.
Well, what are your thoughts on the mouse? I know I've got my own opinions and everything, but like, do you think that they have too much, or that they are like not even that good of an entertainment company? Or like, what do you think?
What the hell do you mean they're not that good of an entertainment company? They are the entertainment company. They own like
Right, but
50%
I
of
mean, like,
everything.
because it's Disney, you're like, "Oh, man, I don't know."
I think that they have the majority of what we watch, so I think it'd be hard pressed not to find something that is not Disney related.
It'd be tough, but I've certainly seen a lot of people just like shit on Disney movies because it's Disney, and I'm like, this is actually a decent movie. I don't know
I
why we need
mean,
to just like be like, oh, it's been Disney-fied. That's terrible. No, it's not necessarily terrible.
tell that to the Marvel franchise.
Hey, what they did to Star Wars was not okay.
They took it, they made the money from it, it's all they wanted to do.
That is all they wanted to do, but it's
And then
not
they
what
keep
we
all
want.
of that money because they certainly don't pay their employees very much.
No, there's no way that anyone besides like the main, like the first 30 seconds of credits get anything more than like, I don't know, just above poverty levels. I'm sure.
I'm sure the people that like in the movies get paid pretty well, but then you got everyone that's like work in the parks, which is where they make a lot of more of their money from.
Really,
Yeah.
I guess with the price gouging that's down there,
I
makes
know
sense.
Disney grosses like some 50 billion a year or something in
From the
revenue.
park? Oh, just from
No,
revenue.
no total revenue is like 50 billion a year. Um, that probably comes from like all of their resources, Disneyland, Disney World,
Right.
movies, all that jazz.
I think their like total asset value is like $250 billion, and that's just insane to think about. Like, I can't even like wrap my head around how much money that is for like one company to be in control of.
It's like the whole national budget.
I think that's like what they donate or not donate to the military, but like divvy out to the military for yearly budget, and it's just a lot.
Hey
Disney's
man, Disney is the second largest consumer of explosives in the world, and they're
can't have
just behind the
fireworks.
U.S. military.
Can't have fireworks shows every night without that popping up in
No,
some stat.
I mean it's a pretty close margin too, right behind the U.S. military. Who has this kind of power? The mouse.
Mouse. Do you think Disney has like its own private army? Like you'll see that in like crime or not crime shows, but like movies and stuff where these kind of companies have like their own armies. I think Disney's got an army.
Oh, they definitely have some sort of like mercenary company and all their security agents.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way they don't have some sort of like military level branch.
They definitely employ some shady characters that can do their dirty work.
Do you believe in the Walt Disney frozen head theory?
Not really.
Seems a little
Uh,
out there.
I mean, he was a crazy dude, but racist, anti-Semitic, all that stuff. But I don't think he froze his head.
Even if he did, I don't think it worked. It wouldn't work.
Donald Duck and the Nazis.
I know nothing about like early Disney. Like I just know that like pre I'd say like 1980 or something they were just doing like the animated short or movies that we know. But I don't know anything about like who Walt Disney is or anything with
Well, let
his
me tell you, it was very pro-Nazi and not very good.
what was there like quotes from him or like did he like just kind of hint towards like I'm anti-Semitic and I'm pro-Nazi and everything.
The way that they depicted Jewish people in their stuff. There was literally, that's why I said Donald Duck the Nazi. There was an animated short that won an Oscar where Donald Duck was a Nazi.
Oh my god.
And then, like, just so much more stuff like that that just kept popping up.
I remember American History. Walter showed us the
Oh
think it
yeah,
was
it
the
was Looney
Japanese one.
Tunes.
Yeah, it was like Looney Tunes with the Japanese little
Yeah,
soldier going after Bugs Bunny, and some of that
trying to
stuff's
tell
still
you.
entertaining.
I don't think you can say that.
No, like not the racist part, but like the like I could watch Looney Tunes right now and be like perfectly content with that being on the television.
Well, yeah, because they're aware that that's a bad thing for people to see now. You can't say that it's entertaining referencing what I was just talking about.
I was just thinking of like watching old Looney Tunes clips and everything, and you know, I guess I get why Cartoon Network doesn't play that anymore, but I'm sure it's on Boomerang or something. You know.
They still play Looney Tunes. I'm talking about them in the 40s when they were making fun of the Japanese.
Yeah, they don't play that shit anymore.
Well, obviously, they shouldn't.
It's still on YouTube though.
Well, everything's on YouTube.
What a blessing it
Even if I need to take this down sometime to, like, run for some sort of public office, it'll still be there.
is. Someone will have it. No one's
Yeah,
recording over our podcast and keeping them, but it'll be out
it'll be out there, and they'll come out to get us. They're gonna piece it together perfectly. It's gonna sound like I said something really awful, and maybe I actually did.
there. I guess we'll see over the next week and a half.
Week and a half. We're not gonna be popular for years.
I meant like whether or not this podcast turns out. Or
Why wouldn't it?
you said in case it sounds really shitty.
Well, I uploaded the one that sounded pretty shitty.
You know, I think it's doable for sure. Like, it's listenable.
I can't imagine why this one wouldn't be listenable.
Never know. Corrupted audio. YouTube not wanting us to release this information. Two guys who didn't do any
Well,
research on Disney.
it's a good thing it's not real information, other than things that we think we know and are probably wrong about.
Yeah, it's the dangers of free speech these days, you know.
Anyway, how do you feel about the rate of homicide in Disney movies?
I think it's normal. Maybe it's been normalized because it's Disney and they have so much influence in movies and like how many movies they release. So maybe it feels normal because of that. But you know, I think it's a normal rate.
There are only like 5 Disney movies where what like both parents are present and it's insinuated or actually shown that one of them gets murdered. I don't know if that's a typical rate.
Maybe parent wise, yes. I'm sure you could find some stat where like the parents are just drastically not there in Disney movies versus
Dude, that is every
20
Disney movie. The parents are not there or they've been killed.
I'm just thinking of it now, like across the franchises, and I'm like, well, in Star Wars, oh, well, in Marvel, oh, nah, it's all of them. I
All
don't
of
think
them.
any Disney princesses have parents, of like the original one.
Are we considering Mulan a Disney princess?
They don't consider her one really. Like you never see Mulan in like promos or anything like that, or like when they do like the shot of all the Disney princesses. No, she's never there.
Well, in that case, I don't think any Disney princess really has her parents around.
Wait, Jasmine has her dad in Aladdin.
Does she have her mom?
No.
Well, I'm saying at least one parent is absent in all of these.
Yeah, and you're right. That's fair. That's not recent, but like Tangled's the only example I can think of where they actually have parents.
Did she have both of her parents entangled? I don't think I watched it.
Yeah, she did.
Okay.
Like not during the entire movie because she wasn't.
Well, like as long as they were alive.
They were alive. They just yeah. So do you think Disney's a monopoly?
A monopoly on what?
That's kind of where it's like dumb, and that's probably how they get away with it because like the entertainment industry is like that's what Disney is. I'd say for the most part.
No,
Little
because there's so
production.
many other companies.
Right,
If
but
they were to like buy out Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon, yeah, they'd be a monopoly, but they're not.
just think of like how broad of a spectrum entertainment is. Like that considers like plays. You have anything on like social media, anything doing with music.
Well,
Disney
I think
can't possibly have all that. Like movies, TV shows, that's like their thing, but it's such a small fraction of all the entertainment that Disney having most of TV shows and movies covered is like not enough to be considered a monopoly because there's just so much else.
Well, yeah, there's enough other people that have a business with it that it's not a monopoly, and there's so much diversification that it can't be a monopoly.
Right. So Disney
Because
picked
if
like
you're
the
just
right niche.
going, because if you're just going with the one, this is entertainment, plays, TV, movies, all that stuff. That's not. You have to narrow it down to what the business is.
Right. So it's sort of a loophole, but not really because they're just kind of doing their
It's not a
thing.
loophole because it's not a monopoly because they don't have the entire system. They don't have the entire
Right.
market.
Well, they just picked a market that's so like broad. There's so much in it.
They pick the market that they can profit from.
Yeah, I guess they didn't just say like, oh, which one is the easiest to put a monopoly in?
Well, anyway, this Disney guy. Yeah, he's got these company issued underwear that he gives out to his Disneyland mascots.
What do you mean company issued underwear?
It's company issued underwear. That's Disney underwear.
Like, are they made specifically to be worn under like the mascot suits so they're like
Yes,
extra
they are.
comfortable?
No, it's just in case for some reason your pants fall off or like your dress gets uplifted. Nothing gets shown, so I don't get any lawsuits.
So is that to like prevent people from wearing like no underwear to work just in case that like they don't want to
No,
or
that's to prevent people from wearing overly exposing underwear to work.
okay. I guess I get it from the legal perspective, but as a non-legal person, I think that's dumb. Are they like special? Do they like say Disney on them, or are they just like black underwear?
I believe they're just white underwear, but I wouldn't know
Nice.
anything about the branding of this underwear. I just know it's company issued.
I was hoping for it to just be plastered in Disney. I just want to see what they look like.
It's
Disney.
probably just fucking white old ass underwear.
That's what I'm saying. Gross. Oh no, these are like for kids.
Yeah, I feel like what you just tried to look up isn't gonna work out.
Disney and the Teamsters Union have a tentative agreement to assign workers individual undergarments, which they can take home each night to clean instead of relying on Disney laundry. Oh, this is from workers' complaints that this happened. The agreement follows worker complaints that about contracting public lice and scabies from Disney laundered underwear. So Disney laundry blows, is what I'm hearing.
I'm telling you, man, they don't put any money back into their company.
Only the theme parks.
Well, apparently not even the theme parks because they're not doing the laundry very well.
That's a resort problem. Scabies and public lice, or pubic lice, not public.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think public lice is something that just kind of happens.
No, it's gotta come from some. This article's from 2001. I love the headline. Clean underwear for Disney workers. I feel like I read the whole story.
It's all you needed to know.
Thank you, BBC News. Reporting on our Disney employees' underwear.
Probably got it in those secret tunnels they have.
I feel like all these. Like, are you ever scrolling through something and, like, or you'll be on the internet and there's an ad for, like, an article that says Dark Disney Secrets Revealed or something like that? Like, the top 10 Dark Disney Secrets?
Yeah, and then they're usually the same shitty secrets that I already knew.
Right, like, stuff's a cover, man. Disney's putting out these ads and they're like, oh, this is our darkest secrets. We put some partial nudity in Little Mermaid. They actually are moving a bit more behind them scenes. I looked up Disney secret, like dark secrets. The first couple things that came up were like, park secrets Disney doesn't want you to know. Most of the American flags at the parks aren't regulation. Whoa, Disney, chill. It's like pictures pointing, like, the clickbait where they're like pointing arrows at like certain things just to like get you to click on it.
Yeah.
They got, it's like a really wide shot of a red arrow pointing at like the main castle at Disney World. Like, yep, you got me, guys. I'm clicking on that.
Well, I know the way they constructed the park was to make everything look bigger than it really is by forced perspective.
Right.
So maybe there's something going on there.
I don't know. I don't think it's worth the clickbait red arrow pointing at it.
Nah, man, they changed the size of the flag regulation. That way, Cinderella's castle in the background looks even bigger.
Ooh,
Because that 1 inch off the flag really fucking changed everything.
really changes the perspective. We got cats roam around Disneyland at night. Could have told you that one. Cats are everywhere. A complicated tunnel system runs into the Magic Kingdom, probably for employees.
It is for employees. It's so they can get back and forth. All the
That's what I'm saying.
mascots.
Like, that's not a dark secret. It's a work thing.
Hey man, there's probably like a dead Mickey Mouse down there, and we just don't know it.
Wish you were watching Hot Fuzz with us like the whole time. I don't know if your eyes were open, but there was like a part where the main character like falls into a tunnel under the church they're at, and there's just a bunch of the dead people that they took care of. And what if that's going on at Disney? You got all the old mascots and bad mascots they offed them and threw them under the city.
I know a lot of people die at Disney, so they might just have like a little hiding hole.
I think the leading cause of death is at Disney. I don't know how many people die there. I didn't know people did. But...
My guess is heat stroke or old age.
all them 90-year-olds like, I gotta see Disneyland before I die.
Or they're like bringing their kids there or grandchildren or whatever. I know Goofy got run over at a parade one time.
And that's the story I want to hear about. Are mascots overdone at Disney? I think they are. I feel like there's almost more not more mascots than people there, but there's just too many.
I know the actors that did the Toy Story things. If you shouted Andy's coming at them, they had to like fall to the ground,
Yeah.
act like they were toys.
Uh-huh.
But eventually, so many people were doing it that they had to give up with that policy.
I was gonna say I'd follow those guys around all day, just making them drop.
This one's not getting up. He's probably fucking dead. He's exhausted. He's been doing this all day in 90-degree weather.
You catch Woody in the bathroom. Andy's coming. Yeah, you lay on that piss-filled floor. You sack of shit.
Laying in your own shit. This is what it's come to, hasn't it, huh?
Falls
Is this what minimum
forward.
wage looks like?
Or Woody. Gets up, there's just a big old shit stain on his nice white vest.
He doesn't have a white vest.
He's like a white cow print vest.
Yeah, it's like white and black.
But it's like white would certainly be tainted if you fell in a urine puddle or a shit puddle.
Woody, why do you smell like shit? Somebody said Andy was coming.
He's
I had to be
weeping.
sure.
Weeping while he says, someone in the bathroom said that Andy was coming, and I fell forward and it just pissed all over the ground.
It's just a reaction now. I didn't want to do it, but I had to do it.
Boss, I can't keep going through this. Woody found dead in an apartment.
I shit out myself.
Coach, I need to come out.
Just a lot of people get their ashes spread there for some reason.
Really? I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't. You're not supposed to, obviously, but like, the thinking is apparently that they want to get their ashes spread at the happiest place on earth, so it is advertised. But then, like, if one of the actors like sees someone spreading the ashes, they have to go clean it up.
Imagine like getting that call from your boss. Like, hey, no, under the holy shit, under Ferris wheel, there's some asshole spreading his grandpa all over. Yeah, I need you to go sweep it up. Just normal business there.
Just Goofy with a broom and dustpan.
First character my mind went to.
Just like, who would look the worst trying to sweep up a bunch of ashes?
I'm thinking like some big villain. Like imagine Darth Vader going under something just to sweep up like a pile of ashes.
A bunch of stormtroopers with like a vacuum and mop.
The quarantine people from Monsters Inc.
I mean, somebody had to like keep the Death Star clean, right?
Oh yeah,
a
they were
stormtrooper
totally
janitor.
Imperial janitors. Well, in the new trilogy,
Yeah, I guess they have
Finn,
droids for it.
No, Finn, one of the main characters, was he did janitor stuff on one of the first
Yeah,
bases.
I guess they mentioned that. But they got robots and shit. Why are they using human beings?
I liked The Force Awakens, but I hated that aspect of it. Like Finn was like, "Oh yeah, I was a janitor there. I know the whole layout. I know exactly where all the weak points are. Let's make our plan based around that." And everyone was like, "Okay," and that was the movie.
Thanks, janitor. What are your qualifications again?
Oh, I just walk past stuff, clean it sometimes. I know where the weak points are, though. I promise. There's nothing classified in the Star Wars world.
I know where the weak points are. There's a toilet clogged on floor 4.
Hit it hard, boys. The plunger ain't doing it.
Gotta blow that shit up.
Yeah, you never see bathrooms in Star Wars. What's that about?
They're all going in their suits. You know how hard it is to get that armor off?
Incredibly.
It's
There was
like
a point in
knights.
my life when I wanted to buy a stormtrooper costume, and I was like looking at the prices. Those shits are expensive.
You know, Josh, I don't think we could have been friends if you owned a stormtrooper costume.
Well, you see, that hit me after I saw the price. You know what? It's really not cool to own something that hardcore.
If it had only cost like $20, would you have bought it though?
There's no way it's a good suit for $20. Like, there's a medium between like a low price being meaning that it's a shitty product, and then there's a high price that means that like you're trying too hard or that's too expensive for you. And you gotta find the middle ground, and that just doesn't exist in Stormtrooper market costumes.
Hey man, I'm still thinking of taking my unemployment money and putting it all on black at the casino when they open up again.
I like
Because
that
it's
idea.
because it's all money I shouldn't have anyway.
Hey, you might as well try to make it grow or at least have some fun with it.
I don't know if I'm gonna have any fun with it, but I'll probably go lose it all.
I think at the very least that money has to make it to the casino. It doesn't necessarily have to all be put on black.
Nope, all going on black.
All going on black. Only been to the casino one time and I didn't do anything. I walked through it pretty much.
I have not been to a casino,
That's okay.
but the first time I go, I guess I'm gonna go waste like 5 grand, all on, all in one color.
If you hit it though, you know how like godly you'd be looked at around that table? I
There's
don't know what
probably
the average buy-in for that table is, but I assume not everyone's dropping 5 grand each time.
definitely not, and like if they are, they have a problem.
Yeah, that's. I mean, unless they have the money for it, but like they don't. That's why they're at the casino.
They just took out a loan from a shark somewhere, and they're gonna fucking get them. Down at the
When
horse track, meet some shady character. Hey man, you looking to earn a little extra? It's like, I guess.
do you have student loans that need to be paid off? You want a free credit card?
This is written in crayon.
I am 12. Well,
He's
he
got
checks out.
documentation.
He checks out. That movie's really not that good.
I think the first half of that movie is okay, but then
Yeah, but
but then it takes the wrong turn that all comedies do, and it tries to get serious.
they hit you with like the bullying thing and the little
Yeah,
midgets out there like talking on the field. You're like, what is the tone now? What am I supposed to feel like?
yeah, no, like I don't come to a comedy to get some sort of like life lesson, or it's not what I came to this movie for.
And like the end was kind of like heartwarming. Like the first time I watched it, when like they're just losing on purpose so they can have fun with the shitty kids, and like I get it, but
The
that's
shitty
not where I
kids.
thought that movie was going based on the first half. I wanted them to go play the really good kids and just fuck them up, 20-0. That's the movie.
Nope, because the story had to have some sort of moral value,
It's Disney's.
and I just ruined it.
Oh,
Benchwarmers, not a Disney movie.
I'm sure it's not, but Adam
I mean, what
Sandler
movie?
produced Benchwarmers.
Makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, actually, that makes a lot of sense. The movie's 14 years old. Columbia Pictures. Okay, that's the answer we were looking for. What's Columbia done?
Who's Columbia owned by?
I don't know. I know they do a lot of music labels. Like they're a pretty big music label, but I don't know what they've done movie wise.
That wasn't the question I asked. Who owns Columbia?
Let's see. Columbia Picture is owned by Sony. Sony's owned by Disney, right?
No. That's
No.
why there's such a big feud over Spider-Man.
Oh, that's right. Yep, that is right. Are you a fan of the new Spider-Man movies? The last two?
More so than the old Spider-Man movies. I didn't like the most recent one, though.
I didn't really either. Tom Holland, I think, is great for the Spider-Man role, but I just don't. I don't know if I think Marvel's trying to like make everything fit into the timeline, which they kind of have to, but I think that really hurt the final product of the Spider-Man
I
movies.
didn't like the second Spider-Man because it just really kind of said F you to the audience. It's like, none of this has been real. It's like, oh, thanks.
Yeah, did we go see that together? I think we did.
Maybe.
I think we walked out of there. We were like, "That's shitty," but yeah, the first half, I was like, "What are we like 45 minutes into this movie and the plot's over?" Nah. I was kind of mad Jake Gyllenhaal was a bad guy though, because I liked him.
But if
He
you
was at
like,
least likable.
if you knew anything about it, though, you knew he was the bad guy.
Oh yeah, you knew that going in, but like you would have liked it if he wasn't. But then we don't have a plot, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just like, if he's gonna be at the movie, there's gotta be some sort of conflict there.
I can't imagine like old people who like read the Spider-Man comics back in like the '60s and kind of were fell short in the recent movies, the recent Spider-Man movies, and then they like go to watch that one. They're like, "What the hell is happening?"
I
There
don't
was
think
someone,
anybody back then who cared about it isn't going to see the more recent ones.
probably not, but like there's some diehard like comic fan out there. He's a big Spider-Man guy. He went to go see that movie and he saw all the like the projection things going on, and he's like, "What the fuck am I watching?"
But then he had to go see it anyway, so he'd go home and write on his blog.
Oh, he definitely has a blog. There's no way around that.
It's almost a rite of passage for being an old comic book nerd.
Those people are like they're not infiltrating baseball, but there's like the people that do Hall of Fame votes and like award voting and everything. It's just these like 60-year-old baseball writers that have been doing it for like 40 years, and I don't know. There's terrible, and they're the exact type of people you think they are.
I'm not
Fat,
sure that I have an
middle-aged men.
opinion on the people that I think they are.
The same. They are the same as that comic book guy we were just talking about.
You describe them as 60-year-old and then middle-aged. That's the end of your life, buddy. You're not making
60s.
it too much
Oh
farther.
no! What was the thing that you showed me where it was like the last 3 days of your life or
Oh
three
yeah,
years of your life?
the last 4 years of your life are considered the end of your life. Well, no shit, buddy. I didn't need this in my psych lecture.
Can't you technically define that as like, yeah, the last 40 years of your life, that's the end of your life? Yeah, because at the end of it,
Yeah.
it does end. What kind of rules are you trying to set?
Doctor, I'm concerned I'm gonna die. You sound suicidal.
Oh my God, Austin! I think I've told you this story before. We were in our Soch class, dual enrollment, senior year, and we were talking about like transgenders and stuff, and she was showing a video on how it's like something in their brain and everything, and Austin leans over to me. He goes, "So it's a birth defect."
Well, like, it does have to do with, like, the chemicals that are produced while you're in the womb. Like,
Well, we were
how
like
much.
zoning. We were zoning, and they were just kind of showing images of a brain because it was like 8 in the morning, and I was not paying attention to a video really. It was just images of a brain, and he's like, "Ah, birth defect."
One thing I will say about Disneyland, though, they play a good psychology game.
How
Because
so?
they got these air vents, you see? And they're advertised as the happiest place on earth. And they're just pumping smells through the air vents to, like, make people happier.
Oh, just applying to the senses.
Yeah, they're like, I think their usual one is like a fragrance of vanilla, and, which apparently makes people happy when they smell it.
Kind of
But
makes
then
me
they
sick to smell
also,
vanilla.
but then they also have, like, if they're trying to sell more corn dogs or whatever they sell at Disneyland, they'll pump that smell through the vents, get people to go buy some fucking corn dogs.
Sounds too intricate for for what it is.
Like, I don't know who thought that up, but they're just like, hey man, take this corn dog and this fan, pump it through.
Just listen to me.
Trust me, I'm a psychologist. It'll work. It's like subliminal
He's,
messaging, but for your nose.
he's crying because no one will do what he wants him to.
Dude, you must be fucking crazy.
Now, if Disney's doing that, why don't like grocery stores do that? Because there's like, so you know how like the produce is usually like at the door,
Yeah.
like it's supposed to smell good and everything. It doesn't smell that good, but like, what if they pumped a little smell in there to help it out a little?
Yeah, or like, you have the people that like cook those rotisserie chickens and you just put that right over an air vent, pump it through
Yeah,
the store. Now everybody's buying the chicken.
and that doesn't sound terribly expensive because grocery stores are pretty confined.
Yeah. Now we got a good business model going.
Yeah, pumping smells. That's the name of
Go,
it, you know.
goes up to the architect of the building. Hey man, I'm gonna need a lot of air vents. Well, we have the mandatory amount. No. I need this place fucking filled with air vents.
Bro, we're
Every
gassing
aisle,
it.
every 5 feet. So I always bring this back to serial killers, but hey, there was this serial killer, right? And he had
Right?
this murder house. I think he
Is
had
this
like a
the guy
murder
from
hotel.
Chicago?
Maybe. He had a murder hotel or whatever. And like, just one of the rooms, whoever he rented it out to, he'd pump a little bit of gas in, and kill him, or however other way he wanted to do it.
Like that was his whole thing with that room?
Yeah. He was a
Nice.
serial killer, and he just like had a murder room.
He had a lot of murder rooms there, from what I know about it.
No. Maybe you're talking about a different guy, but the guy I know about, he just had like one room where he,
Oh, it was only one room.
yeah. Well, he had like it specially designed, but like he kept hiring and then firing people, so
So
no
they
one knew
weren't
exactly what
too
was
in
going
on it.
on. Yeah.
Okay.
He'd have like one guy do the outer wall, then one guy do the inner wall, then another guy do the wiring, and another guy do the air. And he would never pay any of them.
Fuck you, get out.
And then he kidnapped some kids and got
Is this like
arrested.
early 1900s time period? Is that what?
I'd probably say it was about that time, yeah.
Okay. Maybe there were two guys doing the same thing. Because I think the guy I'm talking about, like the first American Horror Story season, I think was based on him. But he had like a hotel of murder rooms. It was not just the one.
It might have been more than one room, but I don't think it was the entire hotel. Because he couldn't just be
Okay.
killing everybody.
You know his name?
Nope.
Murder Hotel.
Serial killer. Murder hotel.
H.H. Holmes? Sound about right?
Yep, H.H. Holmes.
Okay, that's who I was thinking of.
Okay.
He was not very old to be doing all this. 35 when he died.
Most serial killers aren't that old.
Look, at least they have a good span of time to like do what they're doing though. This guy did 27 plus victims in 3 years.
Well, he did more than... He was also a con artist. He wasn't just a killer.
Okay. Ooh, he went to the University of Michigan.
Yeah.
Good
So
job.
did Ted Kaczynski.
Yeah, I knew that one.
A lot of
Yeah,
bad apples.
we're just pumping them out. It's because
Can't
their
think of any.
campus is so spread out.
Can't think of any serial killers that come out of MSU though. Let me tell you.
Not off the top of my head, no.
I don't think there are any.
Now I gotta know.
Got to keep up that rivalry. It's just like, hey,
Oh yeah,
at least we've
very.
at least we've never had a mass murderer, right?
What state produces the most serial killers? Alaska, apparently.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's got to be something out west.
Very out west.
Almost east. It's so out west. In fact, it is a little bit east.
John Norman Collins. This just says Michigan murders. Let's see. He's the only one that came up.
Came up for what? What was your search criteria?
Michigan State serial killers. I guess that would include the state of Michigan. But
Yeah, I think that's exactly what you probably just found.
This doesn't have his alma mater on it, but
Alma mater?
Ypsilanti alma mater. He was called. These are his four names that he went by, like that the media coined him as, I guess. The co-ed killer, the Michigan murderer, the Ypsilanti killer, and the Ypsilanti Ripper. Personal favorite, the Ypsilanti Ripper.
I mean, everyone takes the Ripper.
Highly publicized killings of young women between 67 and 69 in the Ann Arbor area.
67, 1967, or like 67 years old?
1967.
Oh, I thought he was targeting the elderly or something.
No, he killed young women. Between 13 and 21. Ages of 13 and 21. Typically stabbed them or strangled them.
Good for him.
Yeah.
It's a good MO.
Well, he's still alive. They keep him in the Marquette Branch prison. It looks like he only got charged with one of the 6 deaths that he was, like, accused of. Like,
They could only prove one, and that was enough.
yeah. It says they only got him for one, but there were, like, 7 of them that they wanted to get him for, but they didn't have the evidence.
Well, that's Disney for you.
Yeah.
It eventually gets you to start thinking about serial killers.
There had to be, like, a serial killer near, like, Disneyland or something like that just, like, would get unsuspecting tourists.
Remember that kid who got eaten by the alligator?
I do remember that.
Or at least the most recent one. It's probably happened more than once.
It's a weekly event down
Only gets publicized so often.
there. Woody standing next to a pond. Andy's coming.
Ah, shit. Dives in with the alligators.
Jesse's just laying there while Woody's getting torn to shreds.
But Andy's coming.
Woody holds the form. Oh,
Doesn't even
terrible.
bleed.
He's just a toy after all.
A bunch of stuffing coming out of his arms.
How terrifying would that be if, like, some of the mascots down there were just, like, larger actual representations of the cartoon characters? Like, if, for example,
Oh, just
if,
like animatronic.
not even animatronic, like, if Mickey, like, got a cut or something and he started, like, bleeding out of the cut, like, how terrifying would that be? He's just the actual large mouse.
Oh, so it's not a man in a suit. It's just...
Right, it's a physical being, I guess, that's, it's got organs and everything. Maybe a good creepypasta somewhere about that.
Like, I feel like mascots are scary to children, and clowns are also scary to children, so why do we keep exposing them to these things?
I don't know, like, there's a pretty great divide between kids. Like, I don't know I've never heard any kids say, oh yeah, I love clowns, or I love people in suits.
And, like, the only people that go into the clown business are, like, family. It's kind of like the circus, you're just kind of born into it.
Right. I guess, like, the mascots at Disney get pretty good rep down there. I guess we only see the videos of the good encounters, so I guess that's
Yeah, and then they don't really get paid very well, though. I think a lot of them are college students, though.
Oh yeah, that's definitely not, like, their only income or their lifelong plan.
It might be their only income. I don't know if it's like
They're
the only
definitely
thing they
not
have
going to
going
be
on.
there. They're definitely there temporarily.
Yeah. I
Can't
know the
imagine being
mascots
What?
at like sporting events and like NCAA. There's like some rule across whatever the NCAA is considered sports something. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, there's like a 15-minute time limit that you're allowed to be in the mascot suit.
Really?
So like they'll have 5 or 6 different kids in the mascot suit every game.
That just seems like an affirmative action thing where they just try to get people included.
No, that's a thing where mascots died all the time from heat stroke.
What about the ones at like basketball games though? They're in an air conditioned facility. I get it at like a 90
Air
degree
conditioned
football game.
air conditioned facility, but you're covered in like 3 inches of rubber.
But like you can only like for the whole night you can only be in it for 15 minutes.
No, it's like 15 minutes at a time. Then you take a break.
Okay. So they got like they're rotating it.
That's what I assume, yeah.
Okay. It's like, man, 15 minutes and you're done? That sounds.
However, I don't think that's happening at Disney. I think those fuckers are in there for the long haul,
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
working that 9 to 5.
The people in the suits are hoed over the entire time. Like, the people, there's a lot of mascots down there that get to be, like, just themselves and they just wear certain clothes and stuff. But those guys in those goofy suits and the Mickey suits, they're in for it. Maybe Disney really did get the creatures to do it, so save a little lawsuit and money.
I would not be surprised if somehow they had like this whole genetic engineering section of their company that is just working on making a real Mickey.
I don't doubt it. Like out of all the like famous and like branded animals or stuff like that, that
That
scientists would
fucking
try to like
mouse.
symbolize it, the mouse has got to be up there.
Oh yeah. And then they go straight to Goofy because he's already a dog. It's like all you gotta do is put some clothes on him. And
I looked up Disney genetics and this Disney lab came up.
Disney Lab. What do they do at the Disney Lab?
I don't know. I'm trying to look. Oh, I think it's not associated with the actual company. It's like someone's last name at this like research facility, and this is like his lab.
That's what they want you to think.
Maybe. The Disney Group is focused on developing rational and predictable approaches that have designed highly selective therapeutics from genome sequences. Whatever that is.
So they're working to make a real life Mickey Mouse, right?
It's gotta be it. What we do. Let's see. Chemical probes of cellular function. Oh yeah, they're totally making a Mickey Mouse. They're messing
Gotta
with
be.
RNA and DNA.
If we don't understand it, it's gotta be like witchcraft or something.
Oh yeah, they word it like that for a reason. We're too dumb to understand.
Yeah, if we don't get it, it's a
They've
problem.
done their job.
Well, I think we've reached our end.
I think we have.
Mickey Mouse isn't even in the public domain yet, and Walt Disney's been dead for like 50 years.
Wasn't that supposed to be up like this year or something?
No, because they keep pushing back the rights. Because
They do, but I think like the most recent like due date on that was coming up.
it might have been, but I don't think it's ever really going to enter the public domain. Well, this has been Blindside Podcast, which
That's
still
quite
has no
gotten-
relevance to anything,
Yeah.
because you don't know why it's called that, and probably never will.
Guess you'll just have to see.
Yeah, keep watching this every Monday, because it sure is entertaining, isn't it?
And we're gonna start those side series releases coming up here.
Yeah, one of them comes out eventually.
This will be probably posted after the first one comes out.
This will be posted like 2 weeks after the first one comes out.
Yeah. So yeah, watch Noah's Grass video if that's up.
Nah, don't watch it.
Pretty good. There's a couple good pictures in there. I think that are worth 4 minutes of your time.
Nah, just Google it. You'll find the story much faster.
All right.
And outro music.
Outro music.